Hey folks, Orc's Breath here, with a new series. As you can see, this is the Elder Scrolls 2 Daggerfall. Now, this is actually Daggerfall Unity, the fan-made Unity port. I've got a few mods installed, because it runs better and the mods are neat. It's not heavily modded, it's pretty close to vanilla, or at least has that kind of vanilla feel, while still not crashing to desktop every few minutes. But yes, Daggerfall, let's start a new game, and I've given this some thought. Skyrim shall be our home province. Nords hail from the province of Skyrim. You are part of a tall and fair-skinned people, strong, willful, and hardy. Owing to the climate of Skyrim, Nords are resistant to the coldest of temperatures, and can take little damage even from ice-based magical attacks. I'm also using the Climates and Calories mod, so that'll be useful in the winter. Nords are historically well-suited to all the arts of the warrior. Is your character to be a Nord? Yes. And I'm going for a warrior, not the actual warrior class. I'm going for a custom class. But because in Arena, I was playing a Nightblade, a sort of sneaky mage, I've decided for Daggerfall, let's go the opposite direction and go just full-on warrior. And my primary weapon shall be an axe. Now I want axe because it's kind of underutilized, I think. Axes are just objectively not the best weapon class in this game. That's Longblade. Although I am using the roleplay realism items mod and the main roleplay realism module, and those do change the weapons somewhat. I don't remember the exact changes, but I think it balances it a bit better so that the more powerful weapons have some sort of a trade-off in they're heavier or swing slower or things like that. I don't remember exactly where axe falls, but I just like the kind of aesthetic of using an axe, and I want to be kind of a defensive warrior, which is not really very well supported in Daggerfall because there's no armor skills like in later games. There's no active blocking ability. So the best I could do is dodging and medical. Now these are both passive abilities, but the medical roleplay realism does tie that into you can use bandages as a healing item, and I believe that their healing power scales off the medical skills, so that is our primary skills. Now the major skills, I want archery, so that I have an option for ranged combat. I want hand-to-hand, because if I'm holding a bow, I can easily switch to hand-to-hand. I know Roleplay Realism Items mod has an option for some new items, including an axe that I believe you can use in your offhand for use with archery, but I'm not actually using the part of that mod that adds new items, so I don't have any of the new, like, materials of chain leather armors. I don't have the new weapons. I don't remember what I actually do have from that mod, but it adds something. I should have probably looked at my mod list before starting this so I could actually properly talk about what mods I have, but oh well. And what was... oh yes, running is my third and final major skill. Now on to the minor skills, and I should say this episode is going to be just character creation because it takes long enough to get through, and then this episode should be going out, I think, on a Monday. I'm recording this well in advance, but it should be going out on a Monday, and then the next episode where we get into the actual gameplay, that'll be on Friday. Unless this comes out on a Monday, in which case... unless this comes out on a Friday, in which case the gameplay will be on the next Monday. Anyway, Minor skills. Blunt weapon, just as a backup. Climbing. And swimming, so that I can, you know, go to places. I can have a bit more mobility, access areas I otherwise wouldn't be able to. And the final ones, let's put in some language skills. These will be of minimal use, but may come into play occasionally. And let's see what is good for a Nord who's been living kind of in the wilderness, probably, or I think Orcish. Their Orc tribes live in Skyrim, and it makes sense I'd have contact with them at some point. I think Giantish, and I think Spriggan. Giants are common in Skyrim, fairly common, as are Spriggans. And let's put in a class name. This is the Shield Maid is the class, and let's adjust our starting stats. Strength up to 55, intelligence down to 40, willpower up to 60, agility down to 45, endurance at 65 will be the highest, personality to 45, speed, hang on, I'm looking at my, I've got notes here. This doesn't add up right. Endurance. No. I was missing something. Strength 50. No, this does add up. Okay. No, I was looking at the wrong thing. Yes, so. High endurance. That'll give us lots of hit points. As I say, I want to be very defensive. Now, speed and agility are kind of low. I want to be not like a very nimble warrior, but more like a, you know, tough, hit hard kind of thing. Strength could be a bit higher. In fact, I think I'll take 5 points out of luck and move them into strength. Especially with roleplay realism, carry weight will be a concern. Now, special advantages, I want to regenerate health in general. This is very slow, but it's a little bit of something. And I want to resist paralysis and resist poison, because those are very annoying effects, and until I can get hold of potions to cure them, they're pretty much instant death. Well, not instant death, but like, you can't survive them, really, early game. So I want a chance to avoid them. Now, disadvantage, to kind of counteract that, because as you see, if you're not familiar with Daggerfall, if you add special advantages, see this dagger goes up, it makes it so your skills level up slower. And I want to increase my max hit point gain per level up to about 20, and that increases that even higher. So I need to take special disadvantages, which will lower that at the cost of whatever disadvantages I take. And the disadvantages I'm taking, I want to be unable to equip elven material. You know, fancy elven stuff, it's not really my style. I want to be unable to equip leather armor. That is the weakest armor, so that will quickly become obsolete once I start finding chain and plate. So that's fine. That will only affect me in the early game, and that gets that down just a little bit. And I want, this is the big one, inability to regenerate spell points. That means I basically can't use magic, which is fine, because I don't intend to use magic. I actually think I'm going to forbid chain as well, because that will become obsolete fairly quickly. And if I get that difficulty dagger even lower, then, well, that's good. And I don't think... Oh, and forbidden weaponry, short blade. That's daggers and things. Those are cowards' weapons. I don't want to be using those. And reputations. This is the final part of this stage of character creation. This will affect how much different groups of people like me at the start of the game. And I think Shield Maid will be fairly popular among the commoners, and a little popular among merchants. not really very scholarly, doesn't really see eye to eye with those magey types. Gets along alright with the nobility, and doesn't get along at all with criminals and so forth. So this, I think, is a pretty good distribution of reputation. And now, that is the Shield Maid class created. Now I need to choose my character's career path by answering 12 important career decisions that will influence character background. You are most fond of using. Now the one I pick here will get the skills slightly boosted to start, and I'm going to go with axe fighting. What motivates you into a life of adventure? Well, I think this character definitely finds fun in adventure, and definitely likes helping others, and of course likes riches, but the main thing is fame. You know, she's a seeker of glory, and so fame is what motivates her into a life of adventure. Now, which of the following skills have you been studying the longest? These are all kind of stealth-type skills, and I think dodging, definitely, actually, because that's gotta be one of my primary skills. As a child, your nickname was... this actually does affect skill, so if I choose Rabbit, that increases jumping, Guppy increases swimming, Quicksilver is running, Scrapper is hand-to-hand, and a Monkey is climbing. I think I'm gonna go with Scrapper. You were loaned and later allowed to keep 200 gold pieces, a book, a cuirass, pauldrons, or a daikatana. I think I might have a chance to get a cuirass later, so I'll pick pauldrons. Which god, if any, do you worship? Stendar, the god of mercy. I think that'll be a good temple to join. They favor axe and medical and some of my other favored skills, and it's just fitting. That's good warrior god, but good defensive warrior. You have the most trouble. I don't want to be bad at resisting poisons. I don't want to be bad at any physical stuff. So I'm going to say getting along with others. I'm a fighter, not a socializer. Since childhood, you have saved... Oh, now this is where I get a chance for cuirass, but also has a chance for more arrows. More arrows is good, but the cuirass is, I think, more important, so I'll take that. And you are friendlier than most with either the giants or the spriggans. And I think... I think I will go with the giants. Given 200 gold pieces as a reward, you decide to buy a silver staff, I think. Because that way I have silver material and can fight monsters that can't be harmed with iron and so forth early game. Ebony Dagger is better, but I can't use short blades. That's one of my class restrictions that I chose. So silver staff it is. You spend any free time you have training with axe fighting, and you are intimate friends with a warrior. I don't think I go for anyone other than a warrior. And my reputations have changed as follows. Higher reputation with scholars and underworld, and unchanged with the rest. And my name. Finally, I get to choose my name and my name. The name of the character we shall be following throughout Daggerfall is Svanhildur. It's a good name, I think. And face. This face. I've already decided I want this face, which is actually from a mod. The mod, it's a mod that's on the Nexus. It changes the character's body in the inventory to have the same skin tone as the face. It actually also fixes this face was duplicated, and it just recolors one of them to this. And I'm going with this, because I like the war paint. And is this a decent roll? Let's go with this roll, why not? I think endurance up to 70 to get that extra... actually, endurance up to 80. More hit points gained per level as early as possible, and then that last one can go into strength. And that is good starting stats, I think. Now these need to be increased. That can go up to 34. Dodging can go up to 32. Medical can go up to 32. Hand-to-hand is pretty decent, but let's get it a little higher. Archery needs to be even higher as well. I think that's good. Blunt weapons, put 2 points in. Swimming can go up. Orcish, little bit, just little. Actually, swimming should go up again as well. And giantish. And player reflexes determine the overall speed of the game. If you pick very high reflexes, the monsters will move and attack quickly, forcing you to be quick with the controls. Very low reflexes mean the monsters will move and attack slowly, allowing you to adopt a more cautious, thoughtful playstyle. Your character will advance a little slower with a lower reflex setting, and will advance a little faster with a higher reflex setting. Now, because of the advantages, disadvantages, and hit point gain per level that I chose on my character class, I level up a little slower than I would like, so I'm going to pick very high reflexes, because I think I can handle it. And here is final look at character creation, but this is all good. So let's begin the game.
"400 years after Tiber Septim's reign, the beginning will meet the end, and the bloody circle will close at the Empire of Tamriel. The unworthy heirs of the Septim dynasty have allowed the bonds of the Empire to weaken and crack. Uriel Septim, the Seventh, cannot repair what his ancestors ignored. The provinces fight among themselves like neglected children, drunk with rebellion, and one indomitable power hides itself, but not forever."
Well, that sounds rather ominous. The Imperial Palace, seat of the true Emperor, since Daggerfall's been defeated.
Excuse the gloom, but none may know of this meeting. The nature of my trouble is darker still. Over a year ago, King Lysandus of Daggerfall died honorably on the field of battle. He was as loyal a subject, ally, and friend as you are. I did grieve for him, but his spirit does not rest. With a spectral army, he haunts his former kingdom, crying for revenge. I do not know why a good and loyal man would be so cursed. Perhaps you can find the answer and close the marble jaws of oblivion, bringing peace to his soul. I ask this as your emperor and your friend. I have one lesser request. Several years ago, I wrote a letter to the Queen of Daggerfall. It never arrived. The letter was of a sentimental and personal nature. If you find and destroy that letter, I will be grateful. Now, my champion, rest well this night, for tomorrow you sail for the kingdom of Daggerfall.
You wake and look around the room. Some hours ago, you were in a boat en route to Daggerfall when a storm of supernatural strength boiled over the Iliac Bay like a malefic creature. Your boat was destroyed, but you managed to swim through the churning water to a promontory rock. There you found a cave and escaped the fury of the storm. You had only just lit a small fire when a mudslide sealed you within. Your fear of being buried alive calmed when you saw the corridor leading out of the cavern. Perhaps there is a way out of this cave after all. Once free of the cave, you can begin the Emperor's quest. And no, I do not want the tutorial. I'm cold and wet from the shipwreck. This is the climates and calories mod. I should use the campfire to get dry. Let's dry off for an hour. And we shall explore this passageway leading out of the cave in the next episode. Thank you all so much for watching. Click the like button if you liked the video, click the dislike button if you didn't. If you want to see more Daggerfall, go ahead and subscribe. Leave a comment down below if you have any thoughts on this. Y'all have a great day, and I will see you next time.